Hi, I'm LA Wilshaw, and this is my review of the Formula One Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Starting on pole position was Charles Leclerc, and next to him, Sergio Perez, who was told by his engineer to get his elbows out on the race start. That he did, as Charles Leclerc locked up and lost the lead. Max Verstappen in third couldn't overtake Leclerc himself and was told to be patient by his pit wall. On lap 9, Carlos Sainz was out of the race with hydraulic failure, and teammate Leclerc pitted under the virtual safety car, only to be held up by the front jack that appeared to be stuck. Further down the field, once things started going again, Sebastian Vettel overtook Ocon, only to go straight on at turn 3, losing 2 places. Way to turn your car around in one though, Seb. By lap 15, Verstappen had caught Perez and overtook him for the lead. Perez was told no fighting by the team. Other things that happened, there was another Alonso train. K-Mag put in a great move on Bottas, only to retire later in the race. Yuki Tsunoda overtook Ocon, shouting, "Let's go," as he did so. Vettel eventually clawed his way back up to Ocon after that earlier mistake to overtake him. And Zhou Guanyu retired his Alfa Romeo on lap 24. The McLaren switched for strategy purposes, only to not be able to catch Alonso in the closing laps. And Norris felt quite aggrieved that he'd not been given his place back, the one that he'd surrendered earlier in the race. Lance Stroll retired after high oscillations. The circuit was that bumpy that Max Verstappen reported something was loose between his feet. Tsunoda had a failure on his DRS with only half of it working. He was brought into the pit lane and his AlphaTauri team fixed it in good and proper fashion with gaffer tape. Lewis Hamilton had the worst porpoising out of anybody, crying out over the team radio in pain and then stating his seat had gone cold, probably a result of his back going numb. And he struggled painfully to get out of the car at the end of the race. It's a sight that nobody wants to see. And his teammate George Russell had another fantastic weekend, minding his own business, staying out of trouble, wrestling with his own car's demons, and finishing on the third step of the podium. Verstappen remains at the top of the driver's standings after winning the race. His teammate Perez is right behind him in P2, and Charles Leclerc sees himself in third, and only 17 points behind an impressive George Russell in P4. Imagine if that Mercedes was up to speed. And the top 3 constructors are Red Bull, Ferrari, and Mercedes. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you after Canada.